What's going on? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Gen X Army Vet here with a video coming from YouTube. This particular case happens down in Louisiana. This man released from prison, numerous times in prison. He was out only a few weeks and he decides to go have an inappropriate relationship with a 4-year-old and she gets chlamydia. These types of people should be placed up under the prison and never re-released ever again. But somehow they keep getting out. I don't know how. But without further ado, let's get into it.
Convict accused of raping a 4-year-old and giving her an STD has a lengthy history of arrests and convictions, raising questions about how he keeps getting out of jail.
Exactly.
The I-Team found Anthony Jelks Jr. had just been released from prison at the end of June and is on parole until 2027.
This fucker was already on parole. And he goes and does this. It's like some people just, they can't get right. We have to understand and learn this pattern recognition after the second time. The first time, depending on what the case is, they get out. If they go in again within a certain amount of time or for the same type of crime, they should be just throw away the key. But somehow we keep letting these people out.
For domestic violence related charges. Our chief investigator, Chris Nakamoto, sat down with the Baton Rouge police chief who expressed big time frustration with the revolving door of criminals.
I don't blame him.
Officers continue to see. Chris.
Good evening, Liz and Greg. Jelks had just been released on parole in June of this year, only out for a matter of weeks when investigators say he raped a 4-year-old and gave her chlamydia. Tonight, we went searching for the convict and ran into people who identified themselves to us as his family.
What type of animal are you, or do you have to be, to look at a kid? That's a baby. That's a very young adolescent. What type of animal do you have to be? Like, oh, that's what I want. There's something really twisted. We have to identify these types of people and put them in a padded room, like diagnose them, let them stay there. Do something. But they keep coming out because it's cruel and inhumane to make them stay inside these jail cells. Taxpayers' money, I get it, but they keep doing this shit over and over again. So this kid is traumatized for the rest of her life. She's going to have social issues, psychological issues, and she has an STD. So she's permanently scarred.
Anthony Jelks is only 25, but is well known to Baton Rouge police, causing problems over the years spelled out in a plethora of paperwork filed with the 19th Judicial District Court.
It's extremely frustrating.
Baton Rouge Police Chief T.J. Morse sat down with us Friday, expressing frustration after the same man is now accused of raping a small child.
We've arrested him 6 times over the last 6-7 years. He's everything from firearm charges to domestic abuse battery, violation of protective orders. He's currently on probation, supervised probation, by probation and parole. So
he was on supervised probation. How was he able to get somewhere to a point where he can actually go interact with a minor, a kid, a baby, and do this? Those charges that he has, he should be away for a while anyway. But 6 or 7 years, all these different crimes, he keeps getting out.
So it's definitely somebody we are doing our best to go after, and if anybody out there knows where he might be, please.
So he's on the run.
The WAFB team found court records showing Jelks was arrested in 2020, accused of punching a woman in the face with a closed fist. The charges were dismissed 3 years later. He was then arrested in 2022 for punching another female in the face in front of her children.
That's pattern recognition right there. Twice beating a woman, put him in jail for like 10, 15 years. But no, let him out because he's such an upstanding citizen, right?
Bond was set at $30,000. He pled guilty to domestic abuse battery and was sentenced to 6 months in prison. In 2024, he was arrested again, this time for battery on a dating partner and resisting an officer. He was already on probation and placed on a probation hold.
So if you violate probation, don't you get more time? So he should have been gone. His sentence should have been doubled, right? So how is he keep? That's crazy.
He pled guilty to battery of a dating partner and received 6 more months
Just
in
6
prison
months.
and was released
Slap
at the
on the
end of
wrist.
June. Chief Morse expressing frustration at what he describes as a revolving door of the same offenders.
It is an issue when we're arresting the same people over and over and over again. When we, earlier this year, we arrested somebody for murder we had arrested them 3 times within a year and a half for either homicide or attempted homicide.
So they're describing another case, somebody who arrested for murder. He's already been arrested before for homicide and attempted homicide. What the fuck is up with these laws? We need to overhaul everything. What the fuck?
And then finally another homicide. And just keep getting out on bonds.
In all of Jelks' arrests, detectives noted his home address at this house on Jackson Street. We went looking for him Friday after this new arrest warrant was issued for him, after investigators say he raped a 4-year-old and gave her an STD. A car pulled up and one female identified herself as Jelks' sister. Arrest documents for Jelks do not imply any of his family members are connected to the rape victim.
Were you aware that your brother has an active arrest warrant out for his arrest?
With the revolving door that appears to exist with defendants coming through court, Chief Morse says a dialogue needs to happen between elected judges, prosecutors, and police so everyone can get on the same page.
They need to see what's up with their qualifications too. Because like the one up in North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina, let the guy out 15 different times before he stabbed Irina Zaruska. What was her qualification? She wasn't even a certified judge. She doesn't even have any type of certificates to even do their job. They just picked her. It's probably the same thing happened in this situation right here. Just throw anybody in there, let them out.
So it's definitely an ongoing conversation I'm having with the district attorney, Hiller Moore. He's also some of the same frustrations where some people are putting in and even getting released before they have a chance to argue why that person shouldn't be released. And so trying to work with them, trying to get all the judges and now commissioners, because a lot of times the commissioners are the ones setting the bonds, on the same page, where give us a little bit more time so we can tell you why this person shouldn't be released or why they should have a higher bond.
What they should do is depend on, nobody should be bonded out. Oh, you're in jail, you don't get bond. Keep you in there until arraignment, all this stuff, go to a court and do whatever from there. You let these people out, if they got this built up in their systems, in their heart and in their minds, they're going to go do it again. Just like this guy, obviously. Prison isn't working for him. But now, like I said, we got a little 4-year-old running around, not running around because she's permanently scarred mentally, physically, emotionally, and psychologically. So you keep on, it's only get worse.
With Jelks being a prime example of what Morse is talking about, he's pushing for change to stop the madness.
Extremely frustrating, especially to our detectives that do a lot of work to get these arrest warrants and our officers that then find them. And it's something that we talk about all the time, about low bonds. And some of these things with domestic abuse battery, some of the bonds were $3,000, $15,000 for weapons charges, things like that, which I think are too low. I think that some things need to be looked at.
Investigators noted that Jelks was also in trouble in 2022 for indecent behavior with a juvenile, but there's no record of those charges in Baton Rouge. Here's another look at Anthony Jelks Jr. If you know where he might be, contact Crime Stoppers. You know that number, 344-STOP. For the
That's pretty much where video stops. Like you said, we should raise the bond. If we got to bond them out because of, violation of civil rights and all of the bullshit, set the bonds high, $1 million. They had to pay like 10% of that, but still, $1 million. Make them pay $100,000. Because these families owe $15,000. 10% of that, they just go sell drugs or do some shit. Just get the money so you can go get them out, so you can go do it all over again. That's all that happens. Everybody knows who this guy is and know where he is. They're not going to turn him in because, he's family. He's family. Your family's an animal. He's a menace to society. He should be thrown up under the jail and lock the door, throw away the key, because history shows that he's going to keep doing it. He doesn't care. Jail's nothing but a vacation for him, obviously. But that's my thoughts. That's my opinions. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. I like to read everybody's comments. I like to reply. So please like, share, subscribe this video. Give a notification bell. Give me a thumbs up. It helps me with the algorithm. And I catch you in the next video. Peace.